And I don't think I really need to use that thing here. But just rolling the shoulders back, gently bouncing up and down. And no music today. So again, just pull that chin in a little bit. We're going to just bounce up and down like this. You don't have to overdo it. You don't want to pinch a nerve. This is a gradual process. We do it little by little until we develop the flexibility and the strength of posture. And for all the other movements we're going to be doing, it's still important that we have good posture while we're doing it. So this one here is helping to strengthen. And again, if you feel these muscles here, you can feel how much work they're doing. You're just working them in the proper alignment now. And that's important. Okay, the next one is going to be the neck massage. And with that one, as we take our fingertips, we're going to be pushing into the vertebral joints of the neck, doing little circular movements. So these circular movements are like this, just kind of pushing in to the neck. You can move the neck around a little bit. You're working on the muscles. And as you move up and down, we're moving fluid up and down. And that's one of the advantages of the Cellerciser, is every cell is still doing this. All we're doing is taking advantage of the movement and helping to push that fluid between the vertebral joints to the disc. Now, as we work our way up toward the atlas, where the skull rests, right up here in the first vertebrae, that area, we can push underneath there and help to push that circulation in. And if you have tinnitus, or tinnitus, you may feel those, that ringing going up or down or releasing. Okay, now we turn the head. Just turn the head and okay, this way. And as you turn your head, you want to stretch the neck just a little bit. And you can, if you have any tightness in the neck, you may feel that. You just turn and hold it. Just hold it and let the bouncing loosen the tension. You don't need to overstretch it. In fact, it's not a good idea to do that with the neck. You want to just get to the point where you feel a little bit of resistance and then gently bounce. And remember, the movement you feel on the shoulder here, that same movement is occurring at the cellular level, all within the neck and the fascia, all that tissue, as you increase circulation as well. So we've just helped to increase circulation. Now we're helping to create the stretch in the neck as we do this. And normally I would do it for shorter periods of time, but repetitions. But that's it. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And then just kind of think in terms of moving your chin over your shoulder and just gently bouncing. The neat thing about this is if we really do this, you begin to feel healthier. Your neck begins to feel more flexible, more relaxed. And that stress and tension, which as it builds up, that can also create that ringing. We want to open that whole area up. And like I said, normally I wouldn't do it this long on each side, and you can take your fingers and you can feel those areas and help massage it at the same time, absolutely. Okay, now we're going to do the head roll. And just gently, just relax it. Feel it in the front, over the side, and then in the back. And then just keep moving it around. So this is what we're doing tonight, just helping to loosen up the neck. You can feel it, certain areas of the neck that might be a little tighter, and you can work those a little bit. Yes, Justice?
Roger says, have a hernia about four horizontal from my belly button. Is it okay to use the Cellerciser?
If you do the sit and bounce, you can actually push in on that area. And as you gently tilt backwards a little bit, you can help strengthen the muscle around that wall. But you're just pushing in to give it the additional support. We've had people that have had hernias that, okay, now we're going to, that were fresh hernias that we're able to help them close up. Okay, so bending the neck down, just drop the head, and you're going to get a little pull. You might get a little pull if you're tight in the back of the head, but now as you lift your body and then tilt your head, you might be able to be sensitive to getting stretch all along the spinal column. And in the shoulder blades, I'm feeling a little bit in the scapula area. And we're going to deal with that area too. Then what's happening, you're holding the position, but the cells aren't. The cells are still expanding and contracting. So it's almost as if you're doing a whole bunch of these, but you're not. You're letting the movement up and down do that for you. And I like to open my mouth a little bit on this one so I don't overstretch the neck. Okay, now this one, we want to lift the head up and gently, just gentle stretch. Don't overstretch on this one. Because depending on how much space you have between the vertebral joints and the neck, you could irritate a nerve. Don't do that. Just go very gentle. It's a gentle, just a gentle pulling and dropping. And if you feel just a little tightness in there, you can work on that tight area, and then the same thing on the other side. This movement has a lot of advantages, but it can also irritate a nerve and set you back a couple days if you're not careful. So. This is our yoga movement, Cellercise yoga for the neck and the shoulders. It can help create that stretch here, which can help release that tension. I was talking to somebody on the phone about that one today too. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and push again. We've opened things up a little bit. Well, let's push a little more fluid between the vertebral joints to those discs. And again, we're doing those little circular movements. And this gentle, I didn't include this one, but the gentle massaging in the clavicle area here, kind of pushing down, and massaging can help with lymphatic circulation, thyroid, the larynx. It's just helpful as well. And as you move and push up by that atlas, you can sometimes feel yourself opening up, the pressure that has a tendency to build up in that area. Okay, so this one here, you hook under, pull the shoulder to your chin. We're working the scapula, and we're working the shoulders. And when we're doing that, we can turn our body a little bit, just like that, so that we can get some more stretch rather than just there, you just turn a little bit. And that extra turn can really help stretch the muscles in the shoulder. Now, the next day, and then we do the other side. The next day, you may feel a little soreness in that area. You may feel a little discomforture. You've worked a little bit. But the neat thing about Cellercise, which is such a blessing, is that it's hard to damage yourself on a Cellerciser. It's gentle. It's not overstretching. You're not, putting weights on your body that can compromise it. Okay, on this one here, as you see on his back, you just want to kind of grab those elbows. And that's going to work the the shoulders and the arms as well. So you just kind of grab those, gently bounce up and down. You can move your shoulders forward a little bit and then back, just forward. As you move the forward, you can feel that stretch in this area of the body, which not a lot of exercises do. Then focus, change to the other side, and if one shoulder is a little tighter than the other, you may feel that. And that's the area you probably want to work a little bit more. But again, just kind of bounce up and down, move the shoulders back, move them forward a little bit if you can. And you don't have to grab your elbow. You can grab your forearm. If that's too tight, then just grab your forearm or your wrist and just work up to it. Okay, this one I didn't come prepared for. I wanted to show it though. All right, this you can grab a belt. I don't have a belt on me. Forgot to get that. This is basically taking a belt or something you can hold on to, and as you're bouncing up and down, you can pull on that rope. So you pull it up, so you help to increase the flexibility of your hand, so it creeps up your back, and that helps to open up the shoulder area as well. So we would do that on one side, and then we would switch. We would do that on the other side. And so that's a great technique. And since I didn't warn any of us beforehand, none of us can do that one right now. but if you have a belt, you can do it. And that's a great technique for increasing an area of the shoulder flexibility that most people don't even address. And it can be really freeing of the shoulder itself. Okay, so now we're going to deal with a rotator cuff. And that's for people that have shoulder issues to begin with. We're holding the elbow straight ahead, and you can feel those muscles as they are flexing. You're massaging the shoulders. You're pumping circulation. All the cell tissue is gently doing this. And it's in this position straight ahead. And then we do repetitions of this. We have a whole routine on the Mr. Rebounder app that takes you through a whole workout doing all of these different movements. But then we lift it up over our head and just hold the position and let the Cellerciser do the moving, the stretching, the movement at the cellular level. And it's just very gentle. And you can breathe and lift up a little bit. You might hear some release in there as you do that. And then just out to the side. And do that for about 30 seconds. Now, often I will do it, in fact, in the routine that we have, we do it front, top, back. We're rotating on a faster pace. Yes, Justice?
Laura says, do flat resistant bands work in place of belts?
Does a what?
Like
elastic band?
A flat resistance band.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You bet. Okay, now this one here, we're going to open up the vertebral joints in the back. And this is one with scoliosis or any back issues, because it stretches the muscle. So we're elbows up and we're tilting to the side. So we want to lift our body up and then tilt until we can feel a little stretch. When you feel that stretch, hold the position, gently bounce up and down. And that's helping to, I mean, if you're doing it, lifting up and doing it, if you have any tightness in the psoas muscle as well, or in the back, you may feel that, and that's great. You want to create that lift and then gently bounce because it's gentle. And a lot of these results you'll feel after well, you probably feel it after the first session, but the benefits you may feel quite a bit after the third, fourth, fifth session. So again, lifting up, leaning this direction here. It opens up as you lift, and you can kind of move a little bit just to feel where any tightness is in those muscles, and then gently bounce. Okay, so now we're going to take the foot, cross it in front. So if you have any tightness in the lower back, this movement here can really help to open up that whole lower back. I used to feel it there, and I don't feel much now at all, but it's a good thing. So it works. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we lift up, over, and then take the foot and cross it in front. Got to get in sync with him. There we go. What we like to do is we watch a television show, we turn on the app. If we have the phone holder, we have it right in front of us. Okay, now let's loosen up the vertebrae, loosen up those muscles. As we continue to pump and increase circulation. That's great. You've heard me say this one. This is the number one or number two most important movement. I think we can do the baby bounce being the most. But this one here, just back, digestion, elimination, liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, etc. Okay, now this one's good. This is a great movement. You're going to bend over, grab the frame, tilt backwards. And as you tilt backwards, feel the stretch in the shoulders and the back. Can you tell me when that was over, Justice?
For sure.
Thank you.
You're done. And now it's going up and down.
Okay, so now what we do is, as we're back here, we lean over to feel stretch in the hamstring. Okay, so you lean over and lift your toe up a little bit. And then you can bounce because it offers a little more stretch. But you can feel that you're really kind of focusing on tilting and feel that in the back, in the... Okay, and then we do the same thing on the other side. So I'll do it this way. So it's just like this. And you can move around a little bit just to feel where you feel that stretch. I can feel it in my hips. And it's a good feeling, lower back. And a little bit in the muscles there. There's another technique I'm going to show you that is not on the app. And that's for the calf muscles. How are we doing, Justice?
Good, and now it's off.
Okay. All right, now we want to end up balancing it, just loosening it all up again, circulation. Okay, and then I want to show you one for the calf muscle that I didn't show. That's really helpful for stretching also. Okay, so this one here, I'm just going to pull this over here. And for the calf muscle, if you have a table or something you can lean up against, you want to take your foot and really lean forward and then just gently bounce for the calf muscle. And there's a lot of nerves that go through that area. And I think that tension, restriction of circulation can compromise our health as well. We want a good pump in the calf muscle. So we want the calf muscle to be flexible, but also strong. So when we do walk during the day, we can help improve circulation. And then we do the same thing on the other side. Yes, Justice?
Sylvia asks, Dave, where will this routine be? In the advanced section?
Do you want this as a routine? I was just doing it to show it as more teaching of the different movements. But if you want me to do, I can definitely add this as a routine. We already have a routine that does go through the stretching. The purpose of this one wasn't so, I mean, it is a kind of a routine, but if you want it, we can do that. It was more for instruction about how to get the proper form so that we can get the good benefits when we're doing the other program or the other routine. But I could label it instructional, I suppose, and put that on the app. But there is a whole good routine on the app that really goes through and does a lot of all those different stretches and then some.